Hello! Today we're going to talk about Unit 16B of Interchange, the third part, Accomplishments and Goals. My name is Yulia Gamzat. I'm an English teacher. Let's get started. The learning objective of this video is to practice the present perfect, simple past, future perfect, and would like to have while talking about accomplishments and goals. But first, let's try to identify what accomplishments and what goals are. So an accomplishment is something that is successful or that is achieved after a lot of work or effort. So this is something that we have already achieved. This is something that comes because of the results of our work in the past. And what is a goal? A goal is a name or purpose. So a goal is connected with the future. This is something that we want to achieve in future. So accomplishment is about the past and goal is about the future. That's why while talking about accomplishments and goals, we need different range of tenses. Simple past, present perfect, or future perfect to talk about that. So, what have you accomplished in the last few years? If to talk about me, I can give you such examples. I have managed to start working abroad. Yes, it could have been challenging, but anyway, I managed to do that. I've been able to learn basic Spanish. So here, I talk about my past accomplishments, and I talk about them using present perfect. Have managed, have been able to. Why do I use the present perfect? Well, if you remember the usage of this tense in the English language, the main purpose or the main focus of the present perfect is the focus on result. It's not important to mention when it happened. What is more important is what happened as the result of this action. So the fact that I have managed to start working abroad means that now I work abroad. This is my accomplishment. And the fact that I have been able to learn basic Spanish and I talk about that using the present perfect means that the main result is that I can speak a little bit of basic Spanish. That is about my past accomplishments using the present perfect. But guess what? I can also talk about my past accomplishments using the past simple tense. For example, I managed to visit my family last summer. Or, I was able to swim in the Caribbean Sea last week. So here, I talk about my past accomplishments using past simple. I managed, I was able to. Why do I use past simple here? It is because here I focus on when it happened. It happened last summer, last week, in 2009, 3 years ago. Whatever you use to talk about the past and mention when it happened, you use past simple. So far, we can use the present perfect and the past simple to talk about our past accomplishments. We use the present perfect when the result is more important, and we use the past simple when it's more important to mention when it happened. But what about possible future accomplishments? So, to talk about future, surely we use future tenses. But because we also talk about accomplishment, it should show some result, a result in the future. So, what do you hope you will have achieved in the next 5 years? I hope that I'll have taken a trip to Europe. Here, I use future perfect. Because this is about my accomplishment, I have to use perfect to show my result, the result that I want to get. And because this is the result I want to get in my future, it should be future perfect. The future perfect is constructed with the help of the verb will plus have and plus past participle, or the third form of the verb. I'll have taken a trip to Europe. This is my possible future accomplishment. Or, what would you like to have accomplished in the next 5 years? I'd like to have bought my own home. Here, I use an expression would like. I'd like to have bought. I use this expression to talk about some things that are not possible nowadays, but they are not impossible in the future. probably they will happen and they will come true. So I use the expression I would like plus the perfect infinitive because, again, the perfect shows the result and the perfect infinitive shows the possible result in the future. I'd like to have bought. I would like plus to have plus the third form of the verb. So, talking about accomplishments and goals, we use a variety of tenses. We can use the perfect tenses to talk about the result, or we can use the simple past when we talk about the accomplishment in the past, mentioning when it happened. We use the present perfect to talk about accomplishments in the past when the result is more important than the time when it happened, and we use the structures of the future perfect or would like plus the perfect infinitive to talk about possible goals in the future or possible accomplishments in the future. Let's talk a little bit. What are some of your accomplishments from the last 5 years? Can you give me some results? Can you give me some examples? Can you tell me when it happened? What are some goals you would like to have accomplished in the future? Let me give you some sentence starters. By this time next year, I hope I'll have. 3 years from now, I'd like to have. In 10 years, I'd like to have. By the time I'm 60, I hope I'll have. Pay attention that in all these 4 sentences that talk about possible accomplishments in the future, I use either will, like in sentence number 1 and sentence number 4, plus have, and then it should be followed by the past participle to construct the future perfect, or in sentences number 2 and 3, I use the structure would like plus to have that should be also followed by the past participle to construct the future, the perfect infinitive. I would like to have built. I would like to have finished. I would like to have written. So think about your results or think about your examples that you wish you could have accomplished by this time in the future. My results or my possible examples. By this time next year, I hope I'll have learned how to ride a horse. I'm using here future perfect. I'll have learned. Will plus have plus the third form of the verb or past participle, learned. 3 years from now, I'd like to have started my own business. I use the expression would like to show that something is impossible now, but it is possible in future. I would like to have started, perfect infinitive, to have started my own business. What about your examples? I'm sure your results and your examples are really great. So that was a video to help you realize and get to know how to construct the sentences to talk about your accomplishments and goals. I hope you find it useful. Thank you. See you later.